pleasure for us. Okay, let's do it. Welcome, Per Gessle, to a new Good Karma radio show. Once again, thank you for your time and congratulations for this new fantastic PG Roxette album.
Thank you.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Yes. We really love it. You know, as hardcore Roxette fans, we just love this new album. We truly love it because it's. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, first question. Talking about the PG Roxette album, I really love the art cover because it's very simple, very minimalist. It's only you with your guitar on a white background. It reminds me to the more sketch the chorus cover picture because you have to pay your attention in the central picture. I think it's amazing with the whole concept and the art design. Who came with this idea? It was you or it was Fredrik et al. Who suggested you to go in that way?
Well, you know, I've been working with Fredrik, as you know, over the years on several occasions with Gessle Theater in 2013 and also with Marie for the... well, I can't remember. One of the last sessions we did. And they were really cool pictures, you know. The one that I'm holding Marie and you know, and we're standing in the stairs. It's just really cool. So he's a really good photographer, and so I told him that I wanted to make an album sleeve that was you know, in your face in a way, because like in the old days when the vinyl album was the face of the record, face of the music. So I wanted something that was strong, and so basically what we did, we just fooled around for 2 days in my apartment and in my studio, in my office, and took loads and loads of pictures, and he's a very creative guy and he's funny to work with, so I become creative as well. So we just, you know, fooled around, as you could see in the video as well. I have a wardrobe with all my jackets and stage clothes. He just wanted to take pictures there, so we did. And you know, you can see a little bit in the video clip when I'm going through the wardrobe with my hands. So we just, you know, I felt after the first day that we had lots of good pictures in the can, you know. But then when I saw it, you know, it was mind-blowing, actually. It was really, that's why this idea came up with doing the booklet with all these, because there's so many good pictures. And the picture that we used for the front sleeve, of course, is outstanding because it's like a, I don't know what it is. It's just like, it's timeless. It's just, it looks really cool, you know. With the spiky shoes and everything. It's just perfect. It's just great.
Yes, I think it's perfect. I really love the whole concept in this new PG Roxette album. And Elena and Dea are singing almost in all the choruses from the whole album, and you are only singing 3 songs. I think they are The Loneliest Girl, The Crazy Thing, and Headphone Song. I would really love to hear more from both of girls singing in the verses and you more in the choruses. It was planned in that way, or it was just a sheer coincidence?
You know, it just happened. Some song like "Walking on Air," for instance, the original version, as you know, was written for this movie. And the original version was only sung by Helena. I wasn't singing at all because the version I was sending to the film company was just Helena's voice on. So then but I loved her voice so much. Then I had to sort of find a way, because the problem with the girls are always that it's the same with Marie. We prefer different keys. You know, you have to do really tricky things with it musically with the key changes and modulations. So it's the same here. You know, if you decide that Thea and Helena's going to do the chorus, it's really hard to change that afterwards because it's going to be the wrong key for me. But I think, you know, for me, I think song by song, you know, I think what is the best for this particular song, you know. Certain songs like Jezebel has this idea of, you know, this female person sing the chorus and answer, and I'm complaining in the verses. It's like a nice structure of a song.
Yes.
Well, it had to be Helena because I can't sing that song. I tried to sing it, and there are some, on my iPhone here, there are some pieces where I'm trying to sing it, and it doesn't work.
Okay.
Perfect.
It actually reminds me a little bit about Love Is All from Crash Boom Band, which was really hard for me to sing. It had to be sung by Marie, and I sang the choruses, but she had to sing all those long notes, because she had that capacity, and I don't have that. So.
Okay. Per, how do you think the international public received this PG Roxette album? Are you satisfied with the reception?
Well, yes and no. I'm very happy that the people who are interested in what I'm doing seems to like it, like you guys, or like people on the Facebook, my Facebook pages or Twitter or whatever. And also the reviews I had, hasn't been that many. There aren't that many reviews of records anymore, like it used to be. Those have been pretty favorable, so I'm happy with that. But I can't say that I'm happy with, it's really hard for someone like me at my age to get across on commercial radio it's not a problem that is only on my shows. It's the same for Bryan Adams or all those people at my age group, because it's a different ball game, and the mainstream pop music today is quite different from what I'm doing. I'm come from a different generation, so I don't really think I don't really expect lots of commercial success anymore in my life at all. I know that if I'm doing Swedish, like I'm doing this tour with Gyllene Tider, I know that's going to be a lot of people coming because Gyllene Tider is like a household name. But it's gonna be tricky to get back to like the heydays when you talk about the commercial side of it. But it doesn't really matter. As long as I've been writing songs since I was a teenager. And this is like my path in life and what I'm doing. So I can't really. An option, of course, is to start working with younger people, trying to do like a younger style, but it's not really me. It's not where I come from. I fooled around a little bit with that when I did the Monomine thing, but it had to be even Monomine. If you listen to how the songs are structured and how the songs are composed, they're very much in my style. It's an old-fashioned style of songwriting, which is because I'm old.
Okay.
No, yes, I can understand. Music has changed completely.
Yes.
But you are very successful in our program and in the whole Argentina. We're still playing your music over and over every Saturday. Talking about Jezabel, because you mentioned it, and Jezabel captured my whole attention at the very first time, at the very first listening, because it's an organic song, totally, completely different from the rest of the album. I think it's like En Bakker Nat or En Bakker Dog style. I really love this. It's like The First Girl on the Moon or Place Your Love in the middle of Crash Boom Band. And I really love the melody and the lyrics, especially because, after listening the whole track, there is a boy having a hard time and appears Jezabel. Jezabel is a biblical name related to the devil. So it made me think that appears Jezabel and trying to convince or seduce him to the guy to bring to the other side. What is the real meaning about this song? What is the story behind the lyric in Jezabel?
Well, that's not a real story. It's a story about falling in love, I guess. It's about love, and the situation you wind up with when you're falling in love. It could be good, it could be bad. You never know, but you don't know until it's done. So it's not like a real story. It's just that I tend to write about that a lot. I write a lot about the falling in love process and also the loneliness about being in love, because there's a black thing about it. There's some darkness about it as well. You know, even though I have a really hard time to write very positive songs without, there has to be some sort of edge to it these days. It was easier when I was like 30 years ago. When I was younger, it was so much easier to write Sommartider, hey, hey, you know. I can't really do that anymore. It has to have an edge to it, and I think that is because I'm experienced nowadays, and also I know that there is, even though things look bright, there's always a side effect, you know. So I think it's just the way I am, I think.
Yes, I can understand you. I'm always a ballad boy. I always prefer the ballads before the up-tempo song. Maybe that's why you are saying. Yes, because I'm getting older. Yes, Debris is my top favorite one from the whole album. I think it's brilliant. I really love Debris. I think it should be a soundtrack. Have you considered releasing as a single Debris? Because which will be the new Peachy Roxette single?
I think the next single after the Christmas single will be Headphones On.
Oh, Headphones On.
We done a radio edit of that song, a little shorter intro and shorten the guitar part for radio. So I think that will be released eventually. Then I don't know. I have actually a couple of other songs that I didn't include on the albums that I might put out next year as well.
Okay.
So there are like, I don't know. We'll see what happens a bit. Then of course, as you know, there will be a Gyllene Tider tour, and there will be a new Gyllene Tider album in the spring as well. So I tried to see what happens a little bit, so I don't interfere with the projects too much in our home country. But we'll see what happens, you know.
Keep Debris in mind.
Yeah, and a lot of people like that, and I like it too. I think Debris is great, and it's a pretty complex song, you know, with all the harmonies and everything. And Helena is she's so good on this album. She sounds amazing, and all the production was really wonderful. It's actually Clarence and Magnus who's responsible for the sounds. Much more than Christopher. Christopher came in very late in the production, so he was basically doing some guitar parts and some of his strange machine that he uses, you know, this Ondes Martino thing he's using. He's got this old synthesizer it was not the first synthesizer ever made in the 1930s, and he has been standing on a waiting list to be able to buy it for 4 years or so. So suddenly it came, and he's just over the moon. It's really big and it's really clumsy, but it's beautiful, and it's got all those sounds that you like on Debris. It sounds like a bird whistling. That's the synthesizer, really old-fashioned one. So it was great to record the album. So I'm very, no matter what's going to happen and how many singles we're going to release, I think it's an album that will be, you can listen to it 10 years from now and still appreciate it. I think so anyway.
Oh, fantastic.
Hope so anyway.
Briggs?
Per, talking about Pop-Up Dynamo, I love Watch Me Come On Down. The atmosphere is great. Which one is your favorite song in this album?
Well, I like that one too. I like Watch Me Come On Down a lot, and I like it because it's in a way it's a very simple song because it only uses 4 chords that goes on and on throughout the song. Same idea that I had for Some Other Summer. It's just 4 chords, which is not the classic style of my songwriting at all. It's very different. But no matter what, Magnus and Clarence created this really great ambience in the song, which I think is really appealing. And I was actually singing the first version of the song was in a different key. So the vocals, my vocals in the verses are sung in another key, and then I've changed it in the computer. That's why I sound a little darker on that particular song. So
I want to hear that better.
I was singing in another key, and then I changed it in the computer, so I became a little darker in the verses, and that sort of it fit the song, it fit the lyrics, and it fit the whole ambience of the song, and it's just I like that a lot, and I like I like all of them. I like Walk Right In as well. I mean, like I said earlier, it was really hard for me to sing it, so I put it as the last song because I wasn't on it singing it. But I think that was when I wrote that song. It was I felt that this is something I haven't done before. The chord progression and everything is very different from my style, and I like that. It's so hard for me to, I've been doing so many songs, as you know, over the years. When I write something that I haven't written before, I'm so happy. I walked right in. I just felt like, and then of course when I wrote it, it was just a piano thing, and then I played it for Clarence and Magnus, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna do a disco song out of this," and I said, "What?"
Very Donna Summer.
Yeah, it sounded like Donna Summer or Giorgio Moroder or whatever. And you know what? When we did the vocals, Helena's vocals, that disco thing wasn't there at all. So she's singing to my demo, which was like it had a beat, but it's not like the same like it eventually became. So that's probably I think if you would have sung the song to that beat, you probably would have sung it differently. But I think that's interesting as well, because she's like this angel and this synthesized thing going. Yes. It's just crazy, but it's fun.
Yes. we have interviewed Elena and Dea. Huh? We have a great interview with them. We love Elena and Dea, obviously. We love what they are doing in this new fantastic album. You wrote Walking on Air for the Top Gun movie, but they didn't ever reply. They miss it because it's your second single. It's fantastic. Really catchy. We really love it. But what can you tell us about it? Because how do you feel about? Because it's totally impolite. Don't give any reply back.
That's how the music business works, and the film movie as well. So movie companies or music publishers or whatever go out to so many different people and ask for things, and if you have the time, you deliver something. Sometimes they accept it, sometimes they don't. And sometimes if they don't accept it, you never hear from them. So you never know. For me, I was actually happy in a way because Walking on Air became the catalyst for the whole album. Without that request from the Top Gun people, I wouldn't have written Walking on Air. And without Walking on Air, this whole album wouldn't have happened, because it's, when we couldn't tour, I decided to make an album, and I felt like Walking on Air had this style that I wanted to present on the album. So in a way, it was, fate. But it would be great in the movie, though.
Yeah. We really love it. I think it's totally catchy. When you released Walking on Air, I thought, oh, this album is gonna be fantastic. I really love it. Yeah. And if Marie was still here with us and she was involved with this new Feature Roxette album, would be sound exactly the same as we know, or it was taken a different way?
Oh, it's impossible to say. I think for me, this album sounds much more classic Roxette than Good Karma did. Good Karma was a very compromised album. We worked with different people. We worked with Andreas, Bridge Mountain. And he co-wrote a couple of songs, and it was also very complicated to record Marie's vocals because she wasn't in a very good shape at the time. So I don't know. I think we struggled a lot with that album because we didn't really know what to do with it. We didn't really have what's it going to sound like? What is the purpose of all this? I wrote my favorite song for Good Karma. You know which song that it is? It's actually Far Too Close. Remember that song from that came out on my Nashville albums? I wrote that for the Good Karma album, but Marie couldn't sing it, because she didn't have the capacity anymore, and that was so sad, So I mean, it's impossible to answer your question, because if Maria would be here and in the shape she was in when we did Room Service in 2001, of course the album would have been different, because she would have taken a lot of space with her voices and her personality in the production. But I felt after Good Karma it was impossible to do albums that anymore. I didn't want to do that, because it's so much. There's so many compromises, and Christopher, he was the engineer, and he spent so many days and days and days to edit things and to find solutions, technical solutions, because it didn't sound good enough. So it's hard to answer that question.
No, sorry for asking that.
Per, is there any tour plan to play Pop-Up Dynamo live, maybe?
Well, there is no plan at the moment, but like I said earlier on, the ambition for this whole project is to keep the Roxette legacy going on. So hopefully the opportunity will arise eventually to do PG Roxette concerts or Roxette concerts, with playing not only the Pop-Up Dynamo, but also, of course, the old stuff that we have in the Roxette catalog. That's my ambition anyway, But it's now this Gyllene tour came up, so the next spring and summer will be a Gyllene for me. So then we'll see what happens. Time goes by, but it seems like there will be a Roxette musical coming up in 24, in the autumn of 24. So I mean, there are ways to keep the songs alive, and I want to be part of that, because it seems like there's so many people still enjoying it, and as long as people enjoy it, I will be there to say hi to them.
Knowing you, I'm pretty sure that you are working or thinking about a second album from PG Roxette. Maybe it's in your mind to release something more with PG Roxette, and I hope for this, because we really love it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's always plans. Always have plans. I have so many.
Okay. Off-topic question. I read somewhere that someone suggests you to make a second album for the Lonely Boys. I read it somewhere, and if it's gonna happen, I will really love it, because I love the 70s style. I think you are very 70s style with this kind of music, shows a totally different side of you. And have you think about a second album by the Lonely Boys?
No, not really. I mean, I run into Niels once in a while. He had just a birthday party a couple of weeks ago, and I was down there celebrating him. We haven't really talked about it, no. But it's not a bad idea. I mean, it's fun to do a project that is like you have this idea, it's going to sound like this, it's going to sound like the 60s, 90s. This is going to sound like 1966, and you try to do that. That's fun to do. So I mean, I would never do that with the Gyllene Theater or with my own other stuff, So the boys could definitely do that, but nothing in the tunnel so far. No.
Per, my chosen one with Leon is one of my favorite song in this album. I love it. today there are many international collaboration that merge different styles of music. For example, Dua Lipa with Elton John, years and years on Pet Shop Boys, Miley Cyrus and Metallica. Would you be interested in collaborating with someone international? With whom?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting. Over the years, I've been very cautious about it because I felt like it's interfering. But I've changed my mind a bit, because I think if you see it as a separate project, so to speak, it's the same thing we did with the Galantis. When they did the Fading Like a Flower thing. I think that just it gives you an opportunity to present yourself to a new audience, a different target group, people who are not really interested in you otherwise. So I definitely, if the chance comes up to be part of some, work with another singer or another band or whatever, an artist, I'm up for it, definitely. If it sounds like it's an interesting collaboration coming up, so absolutely.
Fantastic. You mentioned Galantis. I really love the Fading Like a Flower. It has a lot of streamings on Spotify. Is Galantis going to make a new remix for any Roxette hits? Maybe
no, we haven't talked about it. They were actually trying to. We talked about doing Fading Like a Flower in Spanish for the Spanish.
Fantastic!
Yeah. It was really hard to do because it didn't really work with the because the languages are so different. You can't use the language in the same way, and so they gave up that idea, or Christian did actually. So we haven't really talked about doing anything else, but I think it was really fun to work with him, and he's a great guy, and they are really doing what they do. So
yes,
who knows what's going to happen? I'm open for anything.
You were last year. You were in the ABBA 50th anniversary at that concert where they are using this kind of avatars. Have you considered this option for Roxette, or either it's too expensive, or you really don't care about it at all?
No, I haven't. I mean, as long as I'm touring and performing myself, it doesn't really make sense for me. I think for the future, I think lots of artists are going to do it. It's a perfect promotion tool. You can be at 20 places at the same time.
Yes.
Like Las Vegas, and you're doing Sydney, and you're doing London, and you're doing everything. So I'm sure there will be Elvis and Michael Jackson and Freddie Mercury and all people who are or John Lennon or whatever. But I don't know. From a creative point of view, I don't know. It feels like. I don't know. It feels like the older I get, the more organic I want it to be. I don't want to have too many technical assistance on stage. I want it to be organic, and I love doing this acoustic tour that I just did. With this, because it's live. Sometimes the songs go fast, sometimes they go too slow, sometimes you fuck up the chords. But it's normal, and it's human, and I like that. I don't know. The technical side has a tendency to take over. I don't like to go to concerts where people aren't singing for real. For instance, I want it to be. I want people to sing. I want people to play.
Yes, I prefer obviously the music play live, and you can do it. So go for a concert really live, because I think with the avatars it's a bit boring. It's more like nostalgic than a real concert.
Absolutely. And you could when I went to the ABBA, I thought the ABBA thing was really interesting, and I thought it was amazing, the technology. But you could sense also at the end of the show, you could feel that people had realized that they were actually watching a screen. There weren't artists around. It was just no matter how much they applauded, no one can hear them. And the first 4 or 5 songs, you felt like you were at a live show. You were applauding, and it was just wow. But then at the end, it was like watching a big YouTube screen, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't interesting. And I think, like I said, the technology side was brilliant, I think it's going to be a lot of people are going to follow that. And if you haven't seen it, I always tell people to try to see it because it's fresh and it's new and the music is amazing. Still, the ABBA songs are great.
Fantastic. Okay, Rick?
But you were recording in Martin Garrix's studio. Why not to make something together? He is a great producer and very talented guy.
Yeah, I was working with Giorgio there, and Giorgio has he hires this space, this studio in Martin Garrix. I never met Martin Garrix himself, so I don't know. I don't have any. I hear he's a really nice guy, and I know people who knows him, and they say that he's just terrific. But I don't really know anything about it, so.
Briggs is a Martin Garrix fan. That's why he's asking.
I don't really know that much.
But you have many hits, but you don't have any greatest hits album as your solo career. I think that the only greatest hits album that you have is Hjärtas Track. It was released in 1997 for the Swedish market. Why not a greatest hits? Because me as a fan from the other fan, when I go to Spotify, I always play the greatest hits because I play and they are running. But you don't have any greatest hits. I know the music changed a lot, and with the Spotify or streaming services, you can play whatever you want. Maybe the greatest hits was something interesting in the 90s, not today, but you don't have any greatest hits.
No, it's true. No, it's because everything has changed with the streaming situation. You can create your own greatest hits. You can make a playlist of your favorite songs, and that becomes your own greatest hits album. I mean, we did a greatest hits album for Gyllene for the 40th anniversary, a double album.
Yeah,
it sort of made sense because there's a lot of people buying vinyl still. But I never really thought about it because I've had so many other careers going on and records coming out.
We really love everything that you release.
And all these demos, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it never ends.
We are really interested in demos. Talking about demos, last year you tweeted about maybe a Per Gessle Archives Part 2 will be releasing. But after all the demos that you have released in digital media, in Spotify and the streaming service, have you changed your mind or it's going to be happen? Because for me, the Per Gessle Archive box is the perfect because it's luxury, full of great content, great amazing songs, amazing demos. All the art cover, the concept is really great. So have you think about or have you changed your mind about to release the Per Gessle Archives Part 2?
No, I talked about it. It's just that I don't really know when to do it, but there definitely enough. I think I have about 100 demos that you haven't heard.
Yeah,
songs from the Good Karma demos and all the Party Crasher demos and old demos. I think it's a good idea, but I want to do it properly, and I can't see it coming out next year. Maybe in 24, or maybe even later. I don't know.
We'll be waiting for this.
But are there any recorded voices of Marie that could be used for the production of a new Roxette single, maybe?
There are a couple of leftovers still from Good Karma, but I don't know if we can use it. It's all fragments of songs, like there's hundreds of takes. It's gonna take a couple of months to sort it out. I don't know if it's worth
it. Okay.
I was really happy that Ronnie Lahti, the guy who's doing the mixing, he managed to create a good version out of Let Your Heart Dance With Me, because I thought that was the key songs for the album Good Karma for me, but we couldn't. It sounded terrible when we worked on it, and he, for some reason, he managed to make Marie sound great on that track, and I was really pleased because I think that's a really wonderful tempo song.
Fantastic. Perfect. Yeah, off-topic question once again. We're in the middle of the World Cup. Do you watch the World Cup? Do you have any favorite football team? Who do you prefer as a winner in this World Cup?
And I haven't watched the World Cup at all. Since Sweden isn't part of it, I lost interest. I don't know where. I don't even know that. I know that it's going on, but where are we? Are we at the quarterfinals, or where is it? I don't know.
We are suffering. We are really suffering. Our people. After listening to your unplugged concert, we missed this unplugged tour, but it's a truly delight to hear your voice. I think your voice is on its best. Your voice is on your high level right now. I really enjoy your voice. But after all this year, you have a notable singing change in your voice. And do you have take singing classes in someday or no?
I should have, but I don't know. But I think I have a little bit more self-confidence these days in my voice. I always felt awkward about my own voice, even when with the old Gessle Taylor stuff. So, but over the years, I've taken more responsibility, and also I learned how to find the right keys in the songs when I record them, and also as you might know, when I did the acoustic tour, I lowered the songs a lot because it becomes more intimate, it's darker, and so I mean you learn. I've learned how my voice works, and also I think I technically sing a little better than I used to. I got a little bit more edge to what I'm doing. If I listen to old stuff, old Gessle recordings, I don't know what was going on actually.
Your voice is perfect. It's a truly delight to hear your voice. It's fantastic, especially the acoustic. I really love the Yata sombring. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Riggs.
Marie mentioned in her biography that it was awkward recording Milk and Toast and Honey because she was hungry and a taxi was waiting for at the door. How was that? What happened?
I don't know. That album was very much. I think that is the album that of all the albums before Marie got ill, that is the album that Marie was least involved with. I mean, it was very much created by Clarence and myself together with Ronnie. Ronnie Lucky was the mixing guy. He was the engineer on that album. And I think it has a lot to do with Marie. She had 2 kids at the time, and she spent a lot of time at home, and she came over to do our vocals when we phoned her up. But it wasn't like when we did Look Sharp or Joyride, when we spent weeks and weeks and weeks together in the studio. It wasn't like that anymore. But she, nevertheless, her voice, her vocal performances on room service are amazing. My World, My Love, My Life, for instance, superb. Great. Milk and Toast and Honey is amazing as well.
Yes,
I love it.
It's a great album.
It's a great.
I love that sound because it's very warm, and that's Ronnie when he made that album very warm, and he together with Clarence, they created all this really, like I said, very well balanced sound. Right? It's nothing that interferes anywhere. Everything is really easy going. It's floating and flowing all the way, and I love that about that album.
You are a busy guy. You are always working. In your daily life, do you have a kind of assistant that helps you with your tasks, or someone who manages your agenda? How is a normal day in Gessle life?
No, I don't have an assistant. I do everything, most of the stuff myself. I'm very lucky to have a wife, and we have a girl who's working for the family, but she's more like dealing with if there's some construction going on the house or something, stuff like that, or the car needs to be fixed or whatever. But normal things like planning my daily life, I do it myself, and sometimes, of course, Marie Dimberg is helping me out, and she's like the middleman, so to speak. But then I'm on the phone every day, basically, with the Live Nation people now because of the United tour. And, going through today, I did the Nordic Rocks thing. Then I spent like a half an hour dealing with the new posters for the United tour and the support act. I announced the support act on Thursday. And so it's every day there's decisions to be made, and then deals to be made, and there's requests coming from companies who wants to use your songs in selling mineral water or whatever. In the end of the day, it always comes to my desk. I have to decide if I want to be part of it or not. I spend a lot of time doing that. Also, I spend a lot of time on writing songs, because at the moment I'm in a writing mode. So I'm writing a lot of songs at the moment. And I'm going to the studio tomorrow, for instance. And I was in the studio Friday and Saturday last week. And then, but it's fun, I enjoy it. And now Christmas is coming up, and I'm really happy because we don't have any snow here yet. It's very dark, very early on, but we don't have any snow. I'm on the West Coast. There's snow in Stockholm.
Yes, there was a big storm, a snowstorm a few days ago, I think, somewhere.
I was there.
Yeah. But if you had chose 3 best moments in your whole career, which one would it be?
I
Just
think,
one. When you think about your career, and it's the first thought that came to your mind.
Well, the first thing is of course when the look became #1 in the States. That was like unbelievable, and it still is unbelievable. Everything else that followed the success of Roxette, when it comes to commercial success, fades away a little bit, because the look was the first, and it just came out of the blue. So it was just knocked us off our feet. But then, if you go even further back, to the United days, all those, it's so long ago I can hardly remember it, but it's all those that success that we had only made 6 performances in front of people before we were #1 in the charts. So we were rookies, and we didn't really know how to behave, and we didn't know how to dress, we didn't know how to do anything. Well, we knew how to play. We were a good band to begin with, but it was really complicated to get used to, being a pop star, basically, which we were young.
But you have formed to be a pop star. Absolutely.
But Roxette's musical will be happening next year. How is it going? What can you tell us about it, please?
Well, it's gonna open 24, so it will be another year, not 23.
Okay.
So it's gonna open 24. It's gonna start off in Malmö, in south of Sweden. Great place, because they have a great theater, and they also have a 60-piece orchestra there. So we're going to use this huge orchestra. It's the biggest one in Scandinavia. And it's based on a book written by Jane Fallon, who's an English writer. and it's a really cool book. Very, it's funny and it's smart, and so I think that's if we're lucky, it's gonna be a really cool musical, you know. And the music is there, as you know. I think it's gonna fit the format very well. But it's a long way to get there, you know. You have all these auditions and, you know, actors and blah blah blah, choreography, and, you know, it's so much to think about. But I'm not part of the creative thing. I'm there if they need me, you know. And we're talking about which songs to use, but, you know, but there's so much hard work to do, and I'm not part of that at all. Thank God.
Talking about music industry, if you could give a piece of advice to a young Gessle today, what would you say and why?
Oh, I get that question a lot, you know, and it's really it's impossible to answer it, because the music industry is it's so different today. Everything that attracted me to becoming a musician and becoming a writer, a songwriter, all those things don't exist anymore. You know, it was for me, when I grew up, pop music or rock music was very romantic. You know, it was, you know, long hair on guys, you know, and you know, everything with liberation and you know, it was all this teenage thing, which was like was so exciting, and it was so much part of the society. Today it's everyone works on computers and on laptops, and it's like you do it differently, and
yeah.
So I don't really know. I mean, I hope that someone who's got the urge or the ambition to work with a personal with a personality, with a creative thing that you have inside, you know. I hope you can find that in the music business today. I'm not sure you can do that, because there aren't really that many. The record companies are not really interested in you if you are doing something that isn't in the what everyone else is doing, you know. The reason why we got signed with Il Theater was because I wrote lyrics that nobody had heard before in Swedish, you know, and that made us special, and that was like an asset, you know. Today, if you do something that nobody has heard before, it's like, don't listen to him or her. It's like it's not. The big record companies always go for the easy way out, which is they want everything to sound the same, because that's the easiest way to make money. So it's impossible to answer that, you know. But I hope you if you really want to go through those motions, you know, I wish you good luck.
But you got it. You are a lucky guy. Yes, here in Argentina is in the top about the music, because everybody here is doing trap. Even how Paulo Londra, they made a song with Ed Sheeran, but today in the music, at least you are here in Argentina, they are always doing trap, and they got no melodies in the lyrics. I can't stand this music. I think it's interesting, but don't have any melodies. They are rapping over the loops and I don't care. I really don't like this music, because I'm an old school guy. I really love the melodies, the riffs, the guitars, the piano.
I think most people do. You know, I think the whole. If you look at all those artists that are selling so many tickets out there, it's always old artists, because they'll like Elton John or you know, or Bon Jovi or whatever, you know. They have the catalog, Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, Coldplay. They have lots and lots of songs that people want to hear and want to sing along to, and also lyrics that mean something for them, you know, they find comfort in them, or
yeah. Coldplay was here in Argentina, and they did 10 concerts in a big stadium. It was amazing. But they are doing something like they make it songs like BTS and something like this. I really don't like this music, but I really love the old Coldplay.
Me too. I agree 100%. I think and I think the old Coldplay, so it's Yellow and all those songs.
Yeah.
It's a different band, you know, and it's a different style.
Yes, yes.
But then time moves on, and they probably want to find new audiences and new target groups and young people to listen to them. So they start working with, you know, Coldplay work with Avicii, and Coldplay work with this and Chainsmokers, blah blah blah, because they want to find target groups, you know, and it's fine, you know.
We miss Marie every day. I think you are missing her. But what do you miss most from Marie? Because you were friends for 40 years. And just being curious, are you still in contact with Bolio's family, Fredriksson?
Yeah, yeah.
Bolio's Fredriksson family, sorry.
I'm in contact with Michael. I haven't met Oscar and Josephine for a while, but Michael and I are in touch. What I miss? Well, I actually miss. I miss so many things, but you know, I miss to have that. You know, when you build something like Roxette together with someone, it becomes. When I look back at my life, you know, Roxette is so much part of my life ever since I was so young. So when you build something like that together with someone, and suddenly the other person disappears, it's a part of yourself disappears as well. You know, it's really hard. That's why one of the reasons why I didn't want to do didn't want to call the new album a Roxette album, because I wanted it to be. It isn't Roxette album. It is a PG Roxette album, which is a different thing. So I don't know. It's just. But then, you know, I miss a lot of things. I miss chit-chatting on the phone, you know, and gossiping about, you know, something that happened, you know, all those silly things. Of course.
The normal things.
So wrap things up a bit, because time is going by.
We know Hux Flux will be the new Gillene Tider album and the new following tour next summer. The album is actually recorded. Do you got the title for lead single? Something you can tell us about you, please?
No, I don't. You know, the album is done. 11 songs. 11 songs, yes. But we haven't decided on the single yet. That's because we haven't decided on the record label yet. So we don't know. It might be Warner, and it might be Cosmos, or it might be something else. So we're going to decide before Christmas. But so before we do that, there's no point in us, you know, going into the details about the singles, because it's a record company decision as well, you know. But it's a great album. It's up-tempo, and it's. I think I said earlier that I think it's the best album we've ever done, and I really do, because we had so much fun recording it, and it's Anders called me up a couple of weeks ago and he said, "Oh, I listened to the new album, and how the hell did we do this? No, it's amazing." I said, "I don't know, it just happened, you know. It's just great, and it sounds great, and everyone is playing so well, you know, and Mats, who has been like, you know, on the last United album, he was a little bit, I don't know, not off, but he didn't really took a step forward that much. But on this album, he absolutely does that, you know, and he's playing some amazing guitar parts, which is like the old MP, you know, the old Mats. And the songs are good, you know, and they're up-tempo, short, energetic, funny lyrics, and it's just like, it kicks ass. It's going to be a cool album, for sure.
Very Gillene Tider.
Yeah.
Very Gillene Tider.
We have been waiting for this album.
Do that, yeah.
So hope you can see it on the front row, maybe.
I recognize you guys.
Luxor, Joy and Tourism has turned 30th anniversary. But in next January, the Mighty Roxette Unplugged from MTV is turning 30th anniversary. Any future release for this Unplugged concept? Because it would be really interesting to get it at least on streaming services, because I think the Unplugged was perfect.
Yeah. Well, we haven't really talked about that too much. It's because it's probably because it's owned by MTV. So we haven't really I haven't really thought about it.
Yeah.
But there is we're working on an album with live stuff from the Joyride tour.
Oh, fantastic!
That might pop up next year. We found the original films from the Sydney concerts from 1991.
Oh, fantastic! The Liveism.
And they were like, we had like 8 cameras rolling. So I mean, it's 3 shows. It's a lot of footage. So I think that's going to happen one of these years. That's going to happen because it could be a good movie. And of course, it's the prime of the tour, the Roxette, when it's at its best with a great band. So that could be really cool.
Hope you are going to release it on vinyl, because I'm a vinyl a lot, so I love the vinyls.
Yeah, if it's gonna come out.
Yes, I'm still waiting for your LP. I really bought it with the Christmas single, and I'm still waiting. It didn't arrive. Yeah, Briggs, ¿vos tenés alguna más?
Per, if you were an animal, which one would you be?
Someone asked this same question to Sting.
What is Sting answer?
The Yeti is
Yes.
topic on. So it describes his personality like something off.
Well, like I said, I always like cats a lot, because I always had cats when I grew up, and I always like they do what they want in the end of the day, and I feel like I want to do that too.
Fantastic. But we have a little ping pong, short questions, quickly replies. So let's do it. Blonde or black?
Oh,
I love your blonde era.
I like blonde, especially when you're young. It's cool.
Yeah.
That's
but jeans or sweet?
Jeans or
sweet?
Sweet. Okay. No, I liked jeans.
Boxers or brief?
Briefs. No boxers for me.
Yeah.
Dogs or cat?
Yeah.
Like drums or synthesizers?
I like both. It depends on what you're doing. Sometimes you can't play the drums or the percussion or the groove that you're looking for, because it has to be computerized, synthesized, like the Monomine tracks, for instance. It's impossible to do with a live drummer. On the other hand, when you talk about the Nashville segments, it has to be live drummer, because it's an organic feel. So I mean, it's a 50-50 thing.
Tom Petty or John Lennon?
Oh. Well, Tom Petty had a much longer career than John Lennon had, so I have to say Tom Petty.
Okay.
You're not much into football, but I will ask: Diego Maradona or Lionel Messi?
Well, I come from the Maradona generation, so I say Maradona.
I'm Messi. I'm so Messi.
But a day in a studio or a day on stage?
Ooh. Well, I love being in the studio, I must say. If I have to, I'll take the studio. But I know that when I spend time in the studio, I just have to get away from the studio and be on stage, and vice versa. If I'm on the stage, if I'm on tour, I want to go straight into the studio. So it's like pick your favorite kid. You know, if you have two kids in the family, it's impossible to do. I love both of it, but if you force me, I say studio.
Streaming services or vinyls and CDs?
Well, I think vinyl for me, but I think streaming services are amazing because you can find everything there. It's the same thing with YouTube and Google. Yeah. And everything you want to know or everything you look for is in my smartphone, which is amazing to think about, you know. Yeah. But when it comes to like music that means something to you, I prefer vinyls because I love the album sleeves and the how it's presented by the artists and you know, I love that. But you know, it's because I grew up with it.
Okay. Piano or guitar?
I say piano. Since I'm thinking about I think I go for piano because piano is easy to see what you're doing.
Money it buys love or love gets everything?
Well, both of them are wrong. Money doesn't get everything, but love doesn't get everything either. I mean, it's the combination, I think. Yes. That is make sense, you know, and it's every time I mean, I didn't have lots of money when I grew up, I worked a lot, and so at that point in my life, money meant so much to me because it meant that I could buy a new guitar, it meant that I could buy a pen or a paper or whatever, or stamps to send to the record companies. But when you get money, it's like life changes, of course, and you don't think about it anymore. And then suddenly other things become much more important. Today, I don't really think about being successful. We talked about that when we started out. Success isn't that important anymore. I've been very fortunate and lucky to have success, but so I don't think. It's a combination. I mean, money is amazing and love is amazing. So let's.
Love is all, says friend.
Per charm school or good karma?
Wow. Both albums were hard to do. I think when I think of the Roxette catalog, I prefer. I think those two albums were the weakest albums that we did. It was because of Marie's capacity on both albums. You know, there were so many compromises made all the time. It's in my head probably, you know, because I was there.
Party Crusher or The World According to Gessle?
I think I like World According to best. Because that came out of from this. It was like a Gyllene Tider album. It was great pop songs. Take It, Elvis in Germany. Do You Want to Be My Baby? Stupid. All those songs were great. There were some crappy songs as well, but you know, there's always.
Karma or Dharma?
Do you know what it means, Dharma?
No, I don't. What's Dharma?
Dharma is all that you deserve in this life.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a good answer. The last one for the people. And to live 1 year as a king or to live 100 years as a pauper?
Okay. I don't think being a king is a very good thing to be. So I think I would prefer the other option.
Thank you so much. You are totally great. We know it's too much time for you, and we really enjoy this interview.
Thank you. Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure
Thank you,
here.
Per.
Have a nice
Thank you
Christmas
for
too.
your time. It's a
So,
pleasure.
Per, thank you so much for
Thank
this.
you.
Thank you.
See you later.
Really, thank you for this time, for this interview. It was fantastic. Hope you have enjoyed it.
Thanks for your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye bye.
Merry Christmas to all the Good Karma Show radio. Merry Christmas.